Right, first, Sir Jim Ratcliffe reportedly wants to hire a yes manager should he decide to sack Manchester United boss Erik Ten Hag. Drive host and big United fan Andy Goldstein pleaded with the club to sort the managerial situation out. This was yesterday.
Disrespectful is exactly the word that describes what's going on at the moment. Manchester United, the club, need to come out and make a statement. They need to tell the fans, inform the fans, and of course the manager and the players what lies ahead. They need to make a statement as to them backing the manager. The season ended 22 days ago. The transfer window opens on June the 14th. That's this Friday. Manchester United, the fans, the players, everyone connected to their club need to know which direction they're going in. And the manager as well. Every day there's another manager linked to the club. And so Jim Ratcliffe has come in and he's bought a minority stake in the club, and he's come in with all these great ideas about moving the club forward and making it a more professional unit. Well, this is as unprofessional as it gets. I just think it's shameful the way they're treating the manager. It wasn't that long ago he won the FA Cup. I know the league season was appalling, was 8th, but make a decision, stick by your guns, come out and either back your manager or don't back him.
Shameful, he says. No? Don't agree?
No, I don't get all the fuss. Like, what is he on trial or something? Because he's got a contract and it's.
Well, he's only got a year left.
Yeah, but until you decide as the club, right, we're going to announce we're sacking him. Carry on as normal. He's just the manager right now. I'm sure he's going into the office this morning. Do they have to announce? Do they have to come out with every rumour and say he's our manager, we're sticking with him just because of rumours? He's got a contract.
But you do get that. Remember, let's go back to when Steve Cooper was in charge of Forest. At one stage, he was out. Everyone was talking about he's going to get sacked. And out of nowhere, it seemed, as I say, within Forest circles, it was clearly not the case. But outwardly, we were all looking on thinking he's going to get sacked. And suddenly he was rewarded with a new deal. So in this situation with Erik Ten Hag, it is still up in the air. Now, maybe that's because journalists have put out stories that maybe have not proven to be true in the end, because we were all being told he was going to be sacked regardless of that result with the FA Cup final. And yet he's still, it seems, from outsiders looking in, the manager of Manchester United. Now, we don't know. Maybe he isn't, and maybe they're just waiting to fill in all the the formalities of his departure from Manchester United, plus also bringing in their new man, for example. Or, like you say, maybe he is still going to take charge. But surely at some point you've got to make it clear to everyone that he is our man or not.
Why? Do Brentford announce Thomas Frank's staying? What have they announced? Thomas Frank staying next year?
But we're not talking about him in the sense of, is his future up in the air? The only reason we're talking about his future right now is he has been linked with other clubs.
Yeah, but links.
So we had, but I still think there is a leak within that Manchester United club who are putting out these stories of, we're not sure about the future of Erik Ten Hag. I know earlier on somebody texted a response when I said that this leak of a review has been put out there. And yes, and they said, well, every club has a review. Yes, they do to an extent. Of course they do. They have to review what happened last season to look ahead to what's coming next season and what players they need and, why they had so many injuries, for example. Of course, that's standard. But the way these stories have been filtered out about Manchester United, it's very different in terms of Erik Ten Hag and his future, regardless of how they finished the season in terms of the Premier League. They won the FA Cup. That's a big bonus. We get that the Premier League season was a disaster for them by their own standards. That has now led to the speculation of Erik Ten Hag and the fact that, Sir Jim Ratcliffe has suggested that we're not sure about Erik Ten Hag. There has been suggestions, whether you believe them or not, through the media, that they're not 100% sure of Erik Ten Hag as of yet. If they back him, if they believe he is the right man for next season, why not come and say it? Why not come out and say it?
Well, you got a fair point. But if I was Erik Ten Hag now, I would be going in to work thinking about who can I get rid of first? Who do I need to get off this wage bill? Who's just picking the wages up and not really trying every week? And then who can I get in that's world class and just carry on with my job?
And again, you said that you think, as things stand, he's very much the Manchester United manager from what we believe. You go into that FA Cup final, all the talk was about his future. A lot of talk, even though they won the competition afterwards with Erik Ten Hag, was about his future. If Manchester United at that point believed he was going to be that manager going forward, why didn't they quash it there and then? Not Erik Ten Hag, I'm talking about the club. They could have put a statement out and said, no, we're backing him.
Yeah, if you bow to every rumour.
Yeah, but they knew all the focus was going to be about Erik Ten Hag before and after.
But it's the Man United manager, isn't he? And Liverpool manager, it's the same. Klopp probably come out and said that he was leaving because he was going to leak out at any minute. So he's probably come out with it.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, Ineos have got no obligation to come out and say, we're keeping the manager. He's got a contract. We're carrying on as normal. But at some point, Eric Ten Hag has to go and buy players and sign players and get rid of players. He's having conversations right now. He's probably gone and asked, listen, am I just going to carry on with my job? Or because I'm having conversations with Martial and people like that, whoever they are. I'm having conversations, negotiating.
Do you think also part of the problem is there is a lack of good managers that are out there who possibly could come in? If they're, by the look of it, Tuchel's not going to be taking over, Pochettino's not going to be taking over. Is that also part of the issue that they're going to have to consider? Or they are considering?
Yeah, there's lots of good managers been at Man United over the past 6 or 7 years. Top managers. Have they ever considered it might be the players who are getting it wrong, who are not having a go and are not good enough to play for Man United? As I said earlier, they pay the biggest wages. They've got the biggest budget. They can have anyone who they like. If you play in any position on the pitch, you should be one of the best in the world in that position. And they haven't got that right now. They've got players who should be playing, no disrespect, halfway up the Premier League. Some of the players they've got.
Yeah.
Get rid of them and get some good ones in.
Okay. All right. Well, we're still none the wiser then as to what is happening. I mean, yes, as you rightly pointed out, he still has that contract with Manchester United, so he is still the Man United boss as things stand. But we're led to believe there is discussions ongoing within the board about what is to happen next season.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.